Hello, this is an impromptu kind of session because my phone is on straight blow up mode. So I wanted to can't re I kid there's no human possible way for me to respond to all the DMs or the emails and messages on the various platforms. And I've probably had the opportunity to speak with a little over 10 college coaches from some of the Power Four, and B, a lot of the schools throughout the country and other conferences. And I wanted to take a minute to explain to parents. Singular topic for this live is simply DSA, the designation of what that means and how it's going to affect these rosters, because you're getting a lot of really um, the information. This is going to take time for the coaches to digest. The athletic directors are going to have to go through the settlement. This is a conference by conference, school by school decision. And we still have schools that have until July 15th to opt into this collective settlement or opt out. I really want to keep this particular topic about DSA, designated student athletes. A designated student athlete is a student athlete that has been awarded scholarship dollars, meaning if you're a walk on, this may not apply to that particular student athlete. Again, what I'm giving you is feedback from college coaches, and the vast majority of them are still processing through their athletic department. And I can tell you that the DSA, designated student athletes, if your student athlete did not sign a letter of intent as a high school senior, as a 2025 graduate, the DSA may not apply to them. The vast majority of student athletes that are going to be a part of fall rosters are those athletes that were part of the program last year as a 2024-2025 student athlete. If they were awarded money, I believe that is part of the designation of the DSA title for your athlete. Now, I want to let parents understand here, this has nothing to do with 26s as far as the DSA. Want to be really firm on this. DSA has nothing to do with any high school athlete other than a 2025 student athlete that signed a letter of intent that had scholarship money allocated in an agreement that you signed back in November of 2024. One. Two, student athletes that were in college at the Division I level that were compensated by a scholarship, an athletic scholarship, will not have that money taken away. They have the opportunity to go back to their school of choice, or obviously they can enter the portal. For those athletes that were walk-ons, meaning they did not receive any athletic scholarship money, this has nothing to do with academic money. It has to do with athletic scholarship money. It is unclear at this point whether they will be allowed to be part of that DSA process. So I want to make sure that that is out there. As a 2026, we're going to talk about that this upcoming Tuesday. All of the underclassmen, you're a rising senior as a 2026, meaning this coming fall, you'll enter your senior year. Going to talk about that in greater length this coming Tuesday. But as of today, I have parents, I have people on social media asking me, why can't a team just keep 40, 45 and stockpile all these athletes? It's just not going to work out that way. First of all, feasibility. Parents, step back, take a deep breath. Let's not look at baseball. Look at all of these athletic programs and remember Title IX. the amount of coaches I've spoken to anticipate a new wave of portal entries prior to July 1st. July 1st is going to be a very tough time between July 1st and July 15th. The portal typically ends after the Major League All-Star game. So a lot of scurrying is going to happen because some athletes are going to anticipate, I'm going to take that offer. I want to find my roster spot. I want to lock it in. I want to lock it down. Some athletes are going to be more patient. Some athletes at some of the higher profile schools are going to find that there's not going to be any room because schools are going to, not baseball coaches, schools as an athletic department are going to make decisions, business decisions, based on this new revenue sharing plan and how many athletes they can logistically afford, both on the men's and women's side of college sports. I do not foresee a lot of programs carrying more than 34 athletes post December 1st, 2025. 2025, December 1st, is when all spring rosters have to be finalized. Do I anticipate the fall being some gray area? Yes. But you as a family have to ask yourself, do I want to be a participant in a game of musical chairs, for the fall and then have to find a new home, for the spring of 2026? Parents, you must allow these colleges to digest, absorb. There's going to be a lot of shrapnel left behind. The landscape is going to be really muddy, and it's going to be painful for not only high school athletes but current college athletes as well. There's a lot of business decisions that have to be made, and unfortunately, there are going to be people that will begin to take legal action. I anticipate, there'll be some sort of a political entity that will get involved in the antitrust and the students being designated as potential employees, and then you have collective bargaining. But I want to just continue to stress the designated student athlete, aka DSA. These athletes are going to have a finite window, meaning if they were a scholarship athlete during the 2024-25 season in college at the Division I level, or they were a 25 high school graduate and they signed a letter of intent that includes scholarship money, those athletes will receive that DSA designation. Walk-ons, I believe, will be excluded and not part of the DSA process. I hope that adds some clarity. Couple of points of interest here. July 15th, the date that schools have to decide whether they're opting into the revenue share or opting out. Bear in mind that most schools or bigger conferences will choose to opt in. Several are not. I'm not going to mention any particular schools here today. The 11.7 as it pertains to baseball is the minimum that most schools will operate under. There are schools that operate at less, Townsend State, a few others that are not fully funded. The maximum number of scholarships for Division I baseball is 34. NCAA Division II scholarships is 9, and they have a 36-man roster. So it's really important to be patient here if you're high school athletes. If you're high school athletes and you're 26, 27, 28, we have some runway. If you're a 25 graduate, there's a lot of different pathways that you can take. I've gone over those ad nauseum over the last few months. If I was a man with a thinking and a crystal ball, I will tell you 2027, we're going to see a professional division I'm just giving it that name. It could be a whole new super mega conference with divisions within the mega conference. We'll see the college athlete and the professional side of things begin to separate. I think you're going to see new alliances, uh, partnerships, for lack of a better word, with some of the professional teams in professional sports, with these professional college divisions and leagues. I think you'll start to see more and more money being poured into some of these collectives. So it's going to be an extremely competitive space. The takeaway from this little quick presentation: college coaches still digesting, still trying to work with their athletic directors to find out. The portal is going to have a secondary wave of athletes, more notable programs, higher level programs, i.e., P4 programs. The college baseball landscape as of today is forever going to be changed. The evaluation process is going to be much more significant. The dreaming and development phase, many schools still abide by that, but they won't be as plentiful at the higher divisions. All of college baseball will be attracting elite, high-level caliber talent. The jump from high school to college just got even bigger. And oh, by the way, it was extremely large prior to yesterday's settlement. So I encourage parents to follow, subscribe. It's free. We'll be doing a master class next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday evening. I will be doing a master class, college recruiting. It will be free. I do encourage you to send me a message to let me know, and I will forward you the link. And continue to send me questions. I will do my best to send those responses to you. And I hope that this message adds some clarity. One, what the DSA signal, what the DSA athlete, who that athlete really is. Two, I don't see a lot of teams stockpiling 40, 50 people. I just don't see that happening. I see a lot of schools making sure they're cost efficient. They're going to have to shell out a lot more money, and they have a Title IX implication. So therefore, you have to keep that in mind as far as roster spots. And so that's a big part of what we will be dealing with going forward. I want to say thank you to everybody that took the time to send me a message. Continue to send me the messages. If you could just please share the channel and just ask people to subscribe. I will tell you why that helps. It helps me gain traction with the YouTube and social media algorithms. It simply helps get a message out to those parents and student athletes, not only that this applies to today as 25s and 26s, but in the future as well. And I hope that you take the time to go back and watch a few of my older lives so that you can get the tier. I talked about the tier system, tier 1 high school athlete, tier 2 and tier 3, and how they're going to be seen in the future by college coaches. Thank you again. I look forward to talking with everybody Tuesday. And don't forget, Wednesday will be my masterclass free, and we will talk college baseball recruiting.